What's good? What's good morning to everybody? Lucky Lefty podcast. Sorry for the delay. Technical difficulties, man. I'm trying to deal with this bad signal for some reason. More than likely it's due to the weather. As always, brought to you by Onora Whisky, OnoraWhisky.com. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. Very, very good day for Notre Dame. Notre Dame alums, former football players, and future football players. We are 2 days out. 2 days out from Super Bowl 56. We'll talk about that. I want to start the show saying congratulations to 1990 Notre Dame football commit Bryant Young on his election to the Pro Football Hall of Fame on last evening. He is a local kid here from Chicago. You guys can go to irishbreakdown.com. I actually dropped an article yesterday detailing how Tommy Rees is leading the charge to reestablish the dominance for Notre Dame in the Chicagoland area in recruiting. So hopefully you guys will be able to go over to Irish Breakdown and check that out today. But you guys are going to co-host with me today. We're going to get it done. If you looked at the Instagram page yesterday of Lucky Lefty Pod, you kind of got a glimpse into everything that Malik has been doing with Onora Whisky all week during the Super Bowl, doing big things. We've had meetings in the last couple of days with a couple of other sponsors we looked at adding to the show. So things are looking up. LL Nation, things are looking up for the Lucky Lefty podcast. Like, I'm really excited about where things are going. So also, don't forget, 12 o'clock Eastern today, 2023 linebacker tight end Preston Zinter is going to have his commitment ceremony. Central Catholic out of Lawrence, Massachusetts. He's a 4-star. And what you're seeing right now, you're seeing a lot of these kids break down their list. They get into the top 6, top 10, top 8 schools going into the spring. They're going to start taking a few visits. And a lot of these guys, especially the quarterbacks that are 4-stars and 5-stars, that might not necessarily be, 4-stars specifically, that might not necessarily be in the top echelon on the top 10, you're going to start seeing those quarterbacks commit to schools because they know those schools might be waiting on some of the top echelon guys. So they'll go ahead and commit, which is very smart on their part, to get their commitment, get locked in, instead of waiting to see what that particular school is going to do if they get their top guy or if they don't get their top guy. So it's very smart. So you'll start seeing a lot of 4-stars, breaking down their lists, cutting down their lists, and ultimately committing probably over the next, I would say from here up until the end of April, is really when you'll start to see the commitments really jump up. The big guys like, 5-stars, Cardinal Tate, Brandon Ennis, Ante Moore, of course, guys like that, probably going to have to wait for the summer all the way into the fall, more than likely, because guys like that are going to weigh their options and play it out and see how things go. So, started off, we already have a super chat. Appreciate it, Demetrius. 2 more days until the legendary lineup has the best halftime show ever. I definitely think it's going to be the most viewed halftime show. I like to see it, like to see how it plays out. I'm sure they're going to have plenty of lights, lasers, pyrotechnics, everything. Probably going to have low riders on the field. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. I want you guys to tell me the songs that you would love to see performed on Sunday that more than likely won't get performed because it has to be a family-friendly show. Has to be a family-friendly show. So congratulations once again to Bryant Young. I saw something. Yesterday's show was about really discussing whether or not Notre Dame had a star issue. And it's very important that I get this out there. Bryant Young was a commit out of Chicago Heights Bloom in 1990. And this goes right to the point that we were talking about and discussing on yesterday. Okay? From that 1990 class, a haul of 24 players, Notre Dame had 5 first-round picks from that class. And that goes right to what we were talking about yesterday. Man, it's not about 5 stars, not about 4-star. Go find the stars. I don't care if the stars start out at 3 stars. I don't care if they're 4 stars. I don't care who they are. Find the stars. Forget the rankings. Identify the stars in each and every class and get them to Notre Dame. And that's the type of class you need. You need a class like 1990 that can produce 5 first-round picks in the NFL. If Notre Dame can do that, hopefully in the 2022 class, nice haul we got, and the 2023 class, you start to turn this thing around and everything starts working towards the national championship that we all want. So that's just an interesting stat that came out last night on Twitter that I thought was very interesting. Jeff Burris, Aaron Taylor, Tom Carter, Jerome Bettis, and Bryant Young all went in the first round of the 1994 NFL draft. It's very interesting. Very great class. But once again, congratulations to Bryant Young on his induction into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And if you've never been to Canton, or if you've never been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's definitely a bucket list opportunity or a trip that everyone should take. Everyone should make it up to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's a fantastic trip. You'll have a great time. And it's more than just the bus, just the history of the game and the way they do it and the way they present it is top notch. All right, let's get into it. So, as I said before, 12 o'clock today, Preston Zinter, Central Catholic, Lawrence, Massachusetts, linebacker, tight end. He's making this announcement on CBS Sports Network at 12 noon today. More than likely, it's a heavy lean to Notre Dame. Heavy lean to Notre Dame. And this is another one of those kids. He's top 3. He's like ranked 300th, I think 311 in the nation, 24th at his position, 4th best kid in the state of Massachusetts. So, this is, if you're going to base it on rankings, you would say, he might be okay. But based upon what we've seen from Marcus Freeman and his staff and the way they're able to identify linebackers, you have to feel pretty good. You have to feel pretty good with who this kid is athletically and how he fits into the scheme at the linebacker position in Notre Dame. So, as I said before, he's a heavy lean today. I think the crystal balls are sitting at like 80% in favor of Notre Dame, and he fits into that, right? He's ranked at 311. He's a kid that found a school that he loves. He knows and sees the guys like Samuel and Pemba and the other top linebackers that are ranked ahead of him that Notre Dame is after. So why don't you go ahead, solidify your spot in the class. Don't wait for the other top guys to get in, and then you might not have a spot. Even though, if you're offered, it's a tricky situation. A lot of schools don't want to snatch an offer from a kid. If they indeed did offer the kid, and then they get a lot of commits in front of that kid, they still will honor the offer. So I don't think Marcus Freeman would do that. I don't think that's something Notre Dame would really participate in. But kids like this, as I said before, that are not the top echelon of the 4 stars or the 5 stars, right about now, you're going to see a lot of kids in this area, 300 to 400. You're going to see those kids in that area of the ranking start to commit to solidify their spot on the school and on the roster at the school of their choice. I think Luke Montgomery is also committing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Luke Montgomery's commitment is tonight. It's either tonight or Saturday morning. And more than likely, it's looking like it's going to be Ohio State for the services of Luke Montgomery, the offensive tackle out of Findlay Prep in Findlay, Ohio. So That's another thing in recruiting that's going to be jumping off this weekend. I'm doing a special show. I don't know if Brian announced it on Irish Breakdown yesterday. A special show tomorrow. We're going to be talking about recruiting topics and getting into specifics of star ratings and things of that nature. I'm not mistaken. He has the mailbag show today. I think the show is going to start around 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern. Don't quote me on it. If he didn't make the announcement yesterday on the show, he more than likely would do it today during the mailbag. So that's another special show tomorrow that we'll have coming. As I said before, if you check out our IG page, you'll see what Malik has been doing all week out in LA with Onora Whisky, promoting it. And we have another sponsor that's going to be coming on very, very soon. And it's because of you. You've gotten us up to 1,900 subscriptions. So let's go ahead and get up to 2,000. We can get to 2,000 by next week. And we would greatly appreciate that push to get us to 2,000 subscriptions. Gets us to about a consistency of 3,000 views per video. And that allows us to go ahead and sell the product and sell the podcast. We appreciate you. We appreciate the way you guys have picked up on Apple Podcasts as well, pumping up those views and tapping in with us. We greatly appreciate LL Nation and everything you're doing for us. Really good times, man. We appreciate the trajectory that the podcast is on. Let's get to some of your questions today. Thank you for the super chat. I see I have another super chat. Let me get to it. Let's see. Where is it at? I see at the top. Oh, there it is. Thank you for the super chat, James Mertz. Love the show. We appreciate you, James. Appreciate that. These always make the workday better. Glad we can get you through the early part of your workday. We appreciate you. Thank you for tapping in. The songs that you will probably not hear that you would want to hear Sunday, of course, because it is a family-friendly show. Jeff Luke says California Love. I actually think the clean version of California Love could work. I do. I think the clean version of California Love could work. I think they might have do that. Brent Byers. Forgot about Dre with Eminem with the cameo. You know what? That might be doable as well, now that I think about it. Like anything that was like heavy radio rotation, it has an opportunity. It has an opportunity. Demetrius Rex. Can Kendrick do all right? Yeah, you might be right. It would be perfect for Kendrick to do all right based upon the things that have been taking place with the NFL, though. That would be apropos and perfect if he found a way to do it and blend it in, even if it was like a transition from one song to the next or something like that, or part of a method. That would be dope. Brent Byers says, so sick of hearing about stars. Me too, Brent. But that's what it is. 5-star, 4-star. You see 5-star, 4-star next to a name, and all of a sudden you get happy about that kid liking your school, liking your program. Just find the stars. I'm not talking about the star rankings. Find the star players. I don't care what their ranking is. Just find the star players. This country is full of star players at all type of sets and places in rankings. As a matter of fact, Cooper Kupp was unranked coming out of high school, had one offer, and ended up winning the equivalent of the Heisman on the lower level, and then went on to win the Offensive Player of the Year in the NFL and the Triple Crown, being the best in receptions, yards, and touchdowns at a receiver. So, you get stories like that, there's talent everywhere. There are people that can get the job done. Money Trees, Juan Lozada. Yeah, Money Trees might be a little bit difficult. I agree with you, guinea pig clips. That's what we said yesterday. You have to create your own gumbo in a sense. You have to find the diamonds in the rough, and then you have to sprinkle it in. With guys like Malik Muhammad, Payton Bowen, Drake Bowen, Don Schuler, Dante Moore, Keon Keeley, Brennan Vernon. And then on the back end, go find you a Zaire Hill out of Kankakee, Illinois, that no one was really on. Notre Dame jumped on him. The only school that was on him as early as Notre Dame was Illinois. And now he's starting to hear from national programs like Alabama, USC, and such. So, absolutely. Nikita 3000, thank you so much. That's why I laugh. I'm from Chicago, and Kanye always said Ralph Lauren was born before I wore him, and I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Everybody in Chicago that really was, at least where I went to high school, rock polo from the jump. Polo was never born in Chicago, so if you guys ever want to get me a gift, just go to the Polo Factory store, Macy's, online, send me a gift card. That's the nicest thing you could ever do for me. But I appreciate the compliment, Nikita. Thank you. Yes, Eugene Williams, definitely. We would definitely not hear Ain't No Fun if the homies can't have none. There's no way we're going to hear that song. No, I would love to hear it. I would fall out if I heard the intro. Yeah, I would pass out. I would pass out. I'm like, the FCC is about to shut NBC down right now. It would be 10 times worse than the Janet Jackson fiasco, which in my opinion was really nothing, but it would definitely be worse than that. If I'm not mistaken, like, I think Mary J said she's only getting one song in the set, which is actually strange. Hopefully she does like a medley of two that'll equal that. Truman Jamel, Dre's Aftermath. We just found out today as well that Kendrick, I believe Kendrick's dropping a single, if not today, tomorrow. Kendrick's going to be dropping a single. It's about time. It's about darn time. I'm saying, I agree. Hey, dude, if Ain't No Fun jumps off, I'm passing out. MW Junior, PLJ Jaguars. Oh man. Yes. If Snoop does that, yeah, it's a wrap. Yeah, Demetrius, that's what I was saying. It might hit too close to home for the NFL right now. There are rumors going around that we might have a hologramic Pac. The dopest thing that they will have as part of the production is that they're going to have two deaf and a mute rapper. It's deaf and mute. I think it's a deaf and mute rapper performing with them as well. So I think that's very dope. I'm very interested in seeing how they implement that in the show. I think that's tremendous. Yes. B Hard 1074, thank you for that. Murder was the case. Murder was the case. Ain't nothing but a gangster party. You will not hear that. If they do one of Easy's joints, yeah, that would be crazy. They probably could drop like holograms and backgrounds of like West Coast people. That would be dope. To show love to Easy, show love to Nip, show love to Tupac. That would be dope to represent the West Coast. That would be dope if they had like some type of vision, because they could use water and have the vision showing through the water with lighting. They can do the hologram. It's a lot of different ways. It's a lot of different ways they can show love. And Nate, you're right, Pierre. And definitely Nate Dogg. Yep. I don't think. But what song should Mary do? If she's getting only one joint, what song do you think she should do? I think she's going to do something upbeat. So it'll probably be Doing Just Fine, or either the Dancer Rejoin. I forget, because the title of that song is like weird. It doesn't even match the song. But those are the two songs she'll probably pull from, something upbeat. I don't think she can go to anything from My Life, because that's man, the vibe of that album was so low key, blues, jazz. Keep the Heads Ringing. Actually might be doable. I don't know. Yeah, Family Affair. That's the name of it. It's like, yo. No, you're right. That's right, DBZ. After Police would not get played. Would definitely not get played. Let's see. I think Royal Fingers, you said that too. And you guys are right. Dre did produce Family Affair, so that's probably the connection. And that might be why she was added to the show, because Dre produced that. If that's the case, if he's going to give an artist one song that he produced, he could have brought Eve in and done "Blow My Mind," because that beat is bananas. Pierre said Mary should do whatever song Malik hates. That's like her entire catalog, my dude. That's her entire catalog. Role model. I definitely don't think Eminem would do the role model joint. That's a good call on that. That's a good call. And shout out to Snoop as well. Snoop purchased, brokered a deal. It was announced this week that Snoop Dogg is the owner of Death Row, the logo, trademark, and is still working on purchasing the music part of Death Row Records. So more than likely, you'll see a lot of Death Row stickers and everything around the stage, because Snoop has ownership of that. That was announced this week. That's huge. Love seeing a black man taking back what he built and getting into that. So I think that's absolutely dope that Snoop did that. And a deal coming with the music is down the road. They're still working on the music part. So I hope he's able to get his music along with others on Death Row, and treat the artists right, so they can start to recoup or be blessed from some of the greatness, especially the producers that still haven't received royalty checks from everything that was done on Death Row. Jason Velez, love you, dude. Spinning the different is definitely refreshing. Go Irish. Hey, we appreciate you, Jason. Thank you for tapping in. Oh, whew. You definitely will hear My Name Is. I'm definitely going to hear My Name Is. Lose Yourself. You're definitely going to lose yourself, is definitely going to be heard. And those were the top two. Yeah, My Name Is Slim Shady and Lose Yourself will be the top two. And like you said, he could do a joint that, he has a joint with Dre a couple of joints with Dre that he could do. So he can always slide that in as well. Everybody, man, everybody. Mary's been in the studio. She dropped a single 2 weeks ago. Kendrick's dropping a single. Dr. Dre supposedly is dropping an entire album. That's the rumor. He's dropping an entire album. He just put out a single with Ice Cube this week. They put out the single and the video. That's up on YouTube. And Kendrick is dropping a single. So it's a great show. Looking forward to it. And it's a great opportunity for all of these artists to really get back on the scene from a musical standpoint. And I think Eminem reportedly is dropping some stuff. Yeah, the MJB album dropped today. I thought it was going to drop after the Super Bowl, but she pushed it up. Initial reports were that she was going to drop it afterwards. She's dropping it today. Very smart. Very smart. Like when you have the impact, just look at Missy Elliott. Like her streams took like a 500% increase on all of her catalog, just not her recent stuff, but her entire catalog when she came out and cameoed during a halftime show. She wasn't even the main draw. She cameoed during a halftime show and messed around and got that type of impact. So when you're connected to the NFL, you're connected to the brand and the halftime show for the Super Bowl, you have to take advantage of it. Shout out to everybody that's on the bill that's going to take advantage of it. Oh, DBZ, that's tough. That's really, now when you ask me that question, what's better, Chronic or Chronic 2001? That's all about nostalgia versus music, right? Because if I flat out had to say what was the better album sonically, there's no denying Chronic 2001 from beginning to end. But the nostalgia of the Chronic, and it immediately, I know where I was the first time I heard something off the Chronic, or the first time I heard the entire album. Like literally, I can go back to that dorm room, and like surrounded by my boys. So, it's just a battle of nostalgia over sonically. So, if you're asking me from just my preference, I'll go with the Chronic. But if I'm taking everything into context and being objective, Chronic 2001. Matt 2011 GT says the Chronic. MJW says 2001. There is no wrong answer. There is no wrong answer, in my opinion. So this is what I'm going to do with you guys today. We're going to discuss this. Let's go over some of these prop bets, right? Let's get you ready for the Super Bowl. Cooper Kupp sitting at minus 110 for 105 yards receiving. I don't know if the bet is worth it. I'm pretty sure that he'll get over 105, but I don't know if the return on your investment is really enough. Now, I'll tell you somebody I do like. Jamar Chase is sitting at 77.5. That's dependent upon a lot. Cooper Kupp is the offense, number one, with Sean McVay and the Rams, puts Cooper Kupp in the slot where he's working against safeties and linebackers a lot. Jamar Chase, more than likely, is outside. He will have a couple of plays in the slot, but majority he's going to be on the outside. Half the time he's going to be covered by one of the best defensive backs in the NFL. The other time, we know that the Rams have problems at their second defensive back, their second cornerback, but they're going to roll coverage to Jamar Chase a lot. I know I would. I would literally take T. Higgins out of the game with Jalen Ramsey. That's what I would do. I would roll coverage to Jamar Chase, take T. Higgins out of the game, and just, Tyler Boyd, because you have to remember Azuma, the tight end, even if he plays, he's going to be iffy. And he's not going to be as effective. So now, can the Bengals be patient enough with the screen game and the running game to stay with it and allow themselves to get to the fourth quarter. That's going to be the challenge. That's going to be the challenge. Cooper Kupp, on the other hand, plays everywhere. So I see him getting to his 105, but I think the better investment is definitely Odell Beckham Jr. His over-under for receiving yards, prop bet 60.5. Odell might have that at halftime. That's a pretty darn good bet. 60.5, sitting at minus 175. That's a pretty good bet. Van Jefferson also is at 30.5 receiving yards. I mean, those are bets right there where the return on your investment is going to be really good. First touchdown, Cooper Kupp is leading the way at minus 165. Joe Mixon is at plus 100. Jamar Chase is at plus 170. You got Cam Akers plus 130. Odell Beckham at plus 140. T. Higgins at plus 175. And Tyler Boyd at plus 240. In games like this, it's always somebody. I think Tyler Higbee is also questionable with the leg injury, but we'll see. Wouldn't it be like crazy if you had somebody like Matthew Stafford score the first touchdown on a quarterback sneak? What is Matt Stafford at? Matt Stafford is at plus 650. He's at plus 650. Joe Burrow is plus 650 as well. Like I said, Higbee and Uzuma are both plus 430. Van Jefferson, once again, plus 330. That's a decent bet. That's a decent bet. T. Higgins at plus 175. That's decent. I don't know if I'll roll with that, but that's different. First play of the game. What's going to be the first play of the game? Now, this goes, if you play first play of the game as a prop bet, then you might as well play who wins the coin toss. You have to play both. Like, you can't play first play of the game and don't play the coin toss. So, for me, I'm going to go with Cincinnati winning the coin toss because they're the visitors. Cincinnati wins the coin toss. They're going to call tails. Win the coin toss, and then the first play call is going to be a Joe Mixon run. It's going to be a handoff to Mixon. Yeah, I agree. Like, if you play that first play of the game, go ahead and play the coin flip with that. You have to parlay those. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. Now, if I were playing that the Rams would win the coin toss, I'm definitely rocking with a pass first play from McVay. Definitely rocking with the pass. First play. Play action. Play action. Stafford comes around with some little option route or some little flood route, a flood concept on a little rollout. That's pure McVay. Pure McVay. DBZ said, take the prop for OBJ. Which one? The yardage? I think that's good value. 60.5 yards for a game. And I think OBJ is going to have a really good game. I really do. Oh, man, that's a DBZ. I don't know. You think Machiavelli's a better album than All Eyes on Me? That's tough. That's tough. That All Eyes on Me double CD is that's a tough album. That's a tough album. Michael Parks, the year of the water tiger. Bengals win the Super Bowl. They have to be in it in the fourth quarter. Have to be close. It has to be a close game. It has to be a close game. But like I said, I don't trust McVay, honestly. Like, I don't, man. Sean McVay tries to get too cute in these tough games. He did it early. He did it multiple times during that Niners game. in the NFC Championship game. He had a play call late in that game and pointed to himself and said, "That's my fault." Like, well, dude, you calling a screen pass down by the goal line with not, there's no room. It's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. You calling a screen pass. It's just crazy. But that's the type of stuff he did when he was out-coached by Belichick in that Super Bowl. Because his defense, that Rams defense and the job they did against Tom Brady in that Super Bowl was fantastic. They did a fantastic job against Tom Brady. Get back to these Super Bowl prop bets. Team to score, touchdown at opening drive. Either team is at plus 114. Neither team, minus 138. Both teams, plus 1120. That's a good value. Both teams to score, a touchdown to opening drive. That's a pretty good bet. That's a pretty good bet. Plus 1120. I might think about doing that. Opening kickoff for a return touchdown, only if Devin Hester was back there. A lot of people made a lot of money that Bears Super Bowl because I know a lot of people made that prop bet and they were jumping up and down, not only because the Bears had the lead at that point, but because they had just made a lot of money because they bet that Devin Hester was going to take the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. Well, man, will there be a fumble loss? Heck yeah. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Cam Akers is playing in this game. There would definitely be a fumble loss. Will there be a safety during the game? It's a prop bet. Last play of the game to be quarterback kneel. That's kind of boring. Largest lead of the game. Very interesting. Over under is at 14 and a half. I don't know. That's interesting. All right, let's get into what's left on the recruiting board before we get to the petty train. One more. Michael Parks, I don't trust McVay or Stafford. Stafford always has a tendency to get nervous when the games were close. You never really see him bail out the team. There's always the team bailing him out. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think he might have exorcised a couple of those demons with that late game throw after Tom Brady tied the game up and all the pressure was on him, and then being down 10 in the fourth quarter. That dime he threw to Cooper Kupp for that touchdown, that was a dime, dude. That was only the area to hit Cooper Kupp to whereas he didn't have to slow down and could keep running for that touchdown. That was a fantastic throw. Absolute dime. So this is the age-old question. Who is better, Biggie or Tupac? For me, it's Biggie and ain't even close. I feel like the chat is about to get stirred up right now. The chat is about to get stirred up right now. I want to know your thoughts. Eugene, thanks for tapping in. Your thoughts on Kaden Proctor out of Iowa. Well, I put Kaden Proctor and Charles Jagasaw in the same boat. Two really big humans, very athletic, very raw. Both of them. Athletic, raw. And I would love for Harry Heasan to get his hands on those slabs of clay. I think right now, Jagasaw is the word I could use is, and it might be, I might be a little hyperbolic in saying this, but I believe Charles Jagasaw, who's out of Rock Island, Illinois, which is right across from Iowa. Charles Jagasaw is enamored with Notre Dame, and he's an absolute perfect fit for Notre Dame. But the thing about both of these big guys, they both are super low key. They're not for all of that rah-rah. They're not for all of the theatrics, pomp and circumstance. They don't want all of that. They're all about relationships, high character guys, and it's going to be Notre Dame, Iowa. It's going to be a Notre Dame-Iowa battle for them both, in my opinion, at this point. With that being said, as I said before, in speaking with Jagasaw's coach on multiple occasions and having the minimal communication I've had with him because he's busy with his wrestling season, this kid is undefeated. I think now he's 42-0. He's 42-0 during the wrestling season in the state of Illinois. So he is technical. He's a beast. He's a grappler. Like I said, he's huge, but he's extremely athletic, and he's enamored with Notre Dame and the way they treated him and the way they've made him feel like a top priority. Kaden Proctor, on the other hand, we just made his top 6. So I think he's going to be one of those guys that might commit in the next month or so. Like I'm saying, these are the type of guys you don't have to worry about them dragging out their recruiting, trying to get the buzz, trying to get the love, trying to get the mentions, being on social media. Like, I truly believe when they know, they're the type of kids that when they know, they'll make the announcement. They won't drag it out. And Notre Dame is in a great position with both of those kids. So let's just say if Notre Dame split and only got one, and I had to choose, I would take Proctor over Jagasaw because he's a little more polished. But Notre Dame can snag both. Don't worry. Quarterback, wide receiver for 2023, still questionable who Notre Dame's going to bring in. The offensive line, the class is going to be phenomenal. Trust me. All the guys that are on the board that have Notre Dame in the top 5 or top 6 right now, if Notre Dame splits and only gets half of them and gets 3 of those guys, it's going to be an incredible class. Wet Blanket, thanks for tapping in. Yeah, Stafford has, I forget the record. He has some fourth quarter record for comebacks. That was his thing when he was in Detroit, like the fourth quarter comeback. Well, he was always throwing the ball because they were always behind. So, numbers-wise, I think Notre Dame, they're going to get, in my opinion, 3 minimum. 3 receivers minimum. It's just a matter of, are they really getting the guys that they really wanted? Like the depth of the offers. I know Hakeem Williams out of Florida just dropped them off. Notre Dame didn't make the top 10. So let me look at. I thought I had my list up. Well, I have to bring it back up. But Tyler Williams is another kid. Notre Dame's they're in good shape with receivers. Tommy Reese is doing a fantastic job. Now Chancey Stuckey gets a chance to go out, hit the road over the next month or so, leading up to spring ball. They'll get some visitors in to watch spring practice, have some visitors for the spring game, and then go into the summer on a roll, in my opinion. Carnell Tate is the big get. He's the big get. So if you get him, I think you start to see the other top guys wanting to come to Notre Dame. And then going into the fall, they're still going to be in play for a couple of the top guys going into the fall as well. So but that's a good question. That's a good question. So Preston Zinter, once again, is announcing today at 12 noon Eastern. Heavy lean to Notre Dame. And then congratulations once again to Bryant Young on being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And let's see. We talked about the 1990 class and how important the 2023 class can be. Because the 23 class really could be that class for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman. Like 22 is one thing because it was an improvement, in my opinion. on what the class would have been if Marcus Freeman had not been here as the defensive coordinator. 23 is the fulfillment of both sides of the ball being equally impactful. And then you have to follow it up with 24. That's why don't overlook and don't, because a lot of people got nervous when they saw that they offered the number one quarterback in the 24 class, Jaden Davis. Has no connection to Dante Moore. That's not a read. That's not tea leaves saying, oh, man, things might not be going good with Dante Moore. No, that's Notre Dame saying we're going after the best players in every cycle. The narrative of the quarterback room in Notre Dame is different. No longer are we going after the guys that are ranked 100th, 200th. We're going after the guys that are top 3 in their class. So they offered Jaden Davis. They already offered C.J. Carr, and they also offered Ryan Montgomery, who is Luke Montgomery's younger brother. So they're going after the top kids in each and every cycle at that position, and that's what you want to see at Notre Dame. Go get the top guys and make all of them compete. Like we're all in this room, compete. You sit, you wait for your opportunity, and when it's your opportunity, you rock and roll. It's the same thing they can show. Like, look, Mac Jones waited his opportunity, played for 1 year, first-round pick, great year in the NFL. So that's the type of room you want to set, not only in the quarterback room, but the wide receiver room in Notre Dame that changes the narrative about both of those rooms moving forward. Kaden Proctor. Lilo, Galante, I'm not worried about Notre Dame because Freeman orchestrating this machine. Go Irish. Blessings to B. Young. Love that guy. Chicago's own number 97. Yeah, that's my guy. Joseph Dobrzinski, thank you for tapping in. This ND staff is looking solid on paper. If they reach even close to the potential we all think they can, this team will really be competing for a national championship. Joseph, I couldn't agree with you more. Have a great weekend, my man. Yo. You know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty historic? Petty Junction.
Yep, Petty Junction each and every day. Let's get to it. I had to get to it early today. So, first on the Petty train, my man. I had to give it to him. Whew. Everybody, the entire TNT crew, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant. Super petty. If you were somewhere else yesterday, of course, you know that the 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets, we put both of their execs on the petty train the day before. We told them, make the deal. Stop holding the NBA hostage. You know what it is. Well, they made the deal around 11:10 Eastern yesterday. It became official. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets for James Harden and Paul Millsap. Now, I'm not here to debate who won. So last night happened to be the live draft show on TNT where Ernie, Charles, Kenny, Shaq, with KD, LeBron, the 2 highest vote getters, for the All-Star game, being the captains and making the choices for both teams. And it gets to a point where the draft is going, and it's very clear the mindset of Kevin Durant. But it's also clear that LeBron is setting this up the entire time and being petty. You can see it the entire time. So this is how it played out when it got down to the final 3 guys on the board for both teams. This is how it played out between Team LeBron and Team KD, courtesy of TNT.
Come on, LeBron. Just make him sweat it out. Take anybody else.
with the 6th pick in the second round, per request of the Chuckster, I'm going with Fred VanVleet.
There you go.
First timer in his
Well, KD, I'm gonna help KD out. KD just needs size right now to me. I think remember last year LeBron said he needed size for the 6'2" guy. He needs size.
Yeah. I'm gonna need some size for sure. I'm gonna need some size and some defense in the interior. Especially with Giannis and LeBron James playing such great basketball this year. I need somebody to offset that. So I'll go with Rudy Gobert.
I agree.
That worked out nicely.
I mean, he can't let people run through the lane and dunk on him. Have somebody defending back there.
Hey, chestnut checkers.
Hey, when somebody want out, you let them go. Don't let them come back. I'm with you, KD. That's why I cut my hair off. I was like, I'm going.
So James Harden goes to LeBron James as the final selection of the All-Star draft.
Shaq.
He hasn't played. Is he healthy?
Who's that?
James, he hasn't played.
He's
what
missed,
happens if he doesn't?
He got traded. He's healthy now.
He's missed the last 3 with a hammy. See, and now we know why LeBron carries a clipboard with him to the draft.
Hey, LeBron,
oh my God,
trust me right now, he's rubbing some ice hot on that thing. He's playing the next game.
That's crazy. Everybody gets up. They're on the petty train. Everybody's on the petty train. Everybody. There's no way I could watch that video and not put every single one in the studio and LeBron. Like you, as it played out, you saw it. I'm like, yo, nobody's taking James Harden. Nobody's taking James Harden. And then LeBron at the end, like, yo, I mean, what's going to happen? Is he going to be able to play? Is he healthy? I mean, it's like, they just played into it. And KD was the best. Because Chuck starts it off like, hey, Bron, go ahead. Put him under the pressure. And Bron is like, yeah, because of the Chuckster, I'm going to go ahead and take Fred VanVleet. And it comes down to Rudy Gobert and James Harden. And Kenny automatically says, man, I think KD needs some size right now. KD, with Giannis and Bron, I do need some size. I need some size. So I'm going to go ahead and, dude, you got Joel Embiid. Like, what are you talking about? I'm going to go ahead and take Rudy Gobert. I do need some size to put up with those guys. It was, man, that was the best live draft I've ever seen, and one of the best 2 minutes of my life in TV viewing. It was absolutely amazing. Had me shouting in the crib. D. Beasley wants to nominate the Lakers, put the Lakers on the train for not trading Westbrook. I can see that. They were mad petty. Antoine, Porsche, Rideau, shout out to Bryant Young on becoming the 14th former Notre Dame player to be inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Next is Rick Waters. I hope so. I hope you're right. So, then your boy Chuck. Man. Oh, boy. Charles Barkley just had to double down. Just had to. So Charles Barkley, as they were going to commercial, the game last night was Brooklyn against the Washington Wizards on the road. So Kyrie was playing in that particular game because it was on the road. And as they were going to break, Charles Barkley, who started the whole thing and told LeBron to set it up. So he started the pettiness in the previous video we just showed. They're going to break to set this up, and they're showing Kyrie Irving on the court. And Charles Barkley, my man.
Coming back with more here on TNT.
I go half man, half a
presented
season.
by CarMax. In just a moment.
Chuck, half man, half a season.
Trying to break a 9-game losing streak.
He called that man, half a season. And said it twice. Half man, half a season. Yo, I lost it. Come on, man. Chuck, what are you doing? Half man, half a season. And it sticks because Kyrie, for various reasons, has literally played half a season for like the last 3 to 4 years. Half man, half a season. Petty. Throw Chuck on the petty train again. Half man, half a season. Woo, man. Terry Washburn, thanks for tapping in. Waters was a good player, but man, did he develop a mouth. He's doing his company though, and the work they're doing, the philanthropic work they're doing, and the diversity of the company that he has out there in the Bay is doing tremendous work. So he's putting all of that brash confidence and that mouthpiece he had to work, putting it to work for the greater good. So hopefully we can get him on the show to talk about it. Roll your fingers. Yeah, I was dead too. He petty. He mad petty. Half man. That might be one of the best nicknames ever given to somebody. That was shade, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're being shady, you're just saying something about somebody. But that's like something that was shade, but you shake your head like, yo, he's right. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We're back as always to the normal schedule on Monday with both guys in the building. If you go follow the Lucky Lefty Pod Instagram page, you can see what Malik's been doing all week, working with the Terrell Owens show, the TO show out there, and putting together events for Onora Whisky with former Notre Dame teammates Corey Mays and some other investors. So they're putting in the work. Super Bowl weekend out in LA. And we tried to make it work. We tried to see if we could do something in the evening, but Hawkins said he thought he would have were eaten up. That's from trying to drive on the freeway. It's bananas out there. It is bananas out there, man. Traffic is already a nightmare in LA. But man. Actually, DBZ, Malik's mic has been better. At least the previous 2 shows. It's been better. So my man, he's been working on it. Finally got the move solidified. He'll come back Monday. Crazy busy this week, putting in work for Onora Whisky. Don't forget, we're featuring it, brought to you by Onora Whisky. Go to OnoraWhisky.com. It's the premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. Now we got to put Michael Parks on petty train. Whole man, no rings. You might want to call him extra man, no rings. Yeah, DBZ, we could have put you on the petty train for that. It's Matt 2011 GT, half a mic. I love LL Nation. You guys are the best, man. You guys are simply the best. Yo, it's crazy. I was trying to get you guys a special guest today. Let me see if it's possible. Let me see if I can get them live. See, we spin it different. I don't know if any other podcast would do this. I'm having my Nori moment right now of Drink Champs. No can do. So, like I said, we'll be back as previously scheduled, 9 o'clock next week. Everything will be back to the same. We'll get it cracking. We'll have a Super Bowl to talk about. Look, unfortunately, hold on. What's good, bro? Hey, this is my Nori moment. I'm live with LL Nation on my podcast when I picked up the phone. So I told him, I said, I was trying to get a special guest to talk about NFL honors for you guys today. I'm just going to send you the link right quick. Oh, the after show. Yeah. Hold on. No, I'm gonna send you the link right now. You just come on the video, and then we'll just chop it up for a few seconds while you're walking. All right, guys. We will have that special guest. That's Jared Payton. He said he was going to try to be on with us. I want to talk about. He was backstage at the NFL honors, of course, out there. They gave away the Walter Payton Man of the Year award to Aunt Man. Witt is one of the most deserving guys to get that award ever. That's crazy that he got that award. His speech was amazing. And the mention of the young man that ran up to him, afterwards, earlier in Detroit when they played a game earlier this year. That's a fantastic story. If you didn't see his speech last night after he accepted that award, then you need to go check it out. Go look it out. Give me a chance to send him this link, and then he'll be joining us in a few minutes. But like I said, what I was getting ready to say before we switch gears right quick to give you another 5 to 10 minutes. Bear with me. Before we switch gears to give you another 5 to 10 minutes. The crazy thing is, there we go. Malik is going to be back, and by chance, oh man, you guys know I'm going to have to give Malik like the first 30 minutes of the show Monday if the Bengals win, right? So I'm low key pulling for the Rams. Don't tell anybody, because I'm like, yo, if this cat Joe B is able to pull this out, there's no way I get a word in Monday. Not one. Like, I'm just gonna sit back and listen like everybody else, because that boy is going to rant. He's going to rant for like 20 minutes. Easily. Let's get some more of your questions right quick. Comments. We had a super chat. Kirk D.A. Anderson Fitness. Love the content. I suspect under Freeman we'd be able to land talent like Hall of Fame Bryant. Yeah, that's what we have to do. Guys like that, that's the haul we have to have. And without question, I think he's going to get the job done. I really do. I really do. I don't see any reason why the 2023 class can't be the most important class in the history of Notre Dame recruiting. Has that chance. And we talked about how important the man, he's literally, I can only give him man. Look, you have to bear with me. He's literally going down. He has a show to do. He's getting ready to get picked up. So hopefully he'll join us. I just sent him the link. Hopefully he joins us in a few seconds. We can get some backstories possibly. I know last year he had a great story that he told. He has a great Cooper Cup story that I want him to tell that I think is very important and it can be very inspirational to a lot of people today. You know what, Michael Parks? That would be a great guess. Kevin McDougal. That would be a great guess. Absolutely. I think we should make that happen. Terry Washburn, I'll be on IB tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm sure Brian's going to announce it today if he didn't announce it yesterday. I believe we're going to have Ricky Williams on the show in the next couple of weeks. That's one of the things that did come out of Super Bowl week. Malik was around him when he was working with the TO show, and Ricky Williams is going to join us. You know what I'm saying? So get your best strand, get your edibles, lay back, kick back. It's going to be a hell of an interview with Ricky Williams when he joins the Lucky Lefty podcast. Yeah, I guess I am being kind of petty today, just a little bit. Hey, I'm just trying to spin it different. Ty B, besides Carnell Tate, what top tier wide receiver is Notre Dame going after? Well, matter of fact, so I can give you where is it at? Malik Elzy is one. Tyler Williams is another. As I told you before, I think Malik Elzy, out of all of them, will be like third on my list. He's another kid from Simeon Vocational in Chicago. He's a great kid. Zaire Hill goes both ways, but I think they're mainly recruiting him as a defensive back. And then you got guys like Malik Muhammad. And let's see. Jalen Brown. That's like the top six, right? Tyler Williams, Malik Elly, Jalen Brown, Muhammad, Carnell Tate. Who am I missing? I'm missing someone. So excuse me. There's someone. I'm sure the name will come to me in a few seconds, but John Jones, thank you for tapping in. Could you give a guess as to when Dante Moore will declare? early fall. If I had to put money on it, it could be slightly earlier, but I say early fall because, and I could be wrong, because he could sneak into town and watch practice. He could sneak into town, South Bend, Columbus, Ann Arbor, East Lansing, Coral Gables. He could sneak into town and watch spring practices at all of those schools if he really wanted to see the offense in motion. But a guy like that really wants to see, in my opinion, what the offense is going to look like at the Horseshoe week 1 and what it's going to look like moving forward. I don't think he's going to eventually wait until they get all the way down to like Clemson in November or anything like that. I do believe he's going to be an early fall commit, which will impact the early signing day in December for Notre Dame or whatever program he chooses. And we always have a winning quarterback. Always.
Well, I will. Yeah, I was at the show last night too. It was a good time.
Thank you.
My dude.
Have a good one. Yo.
My dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm walking.
So,
What's up?
man, just glad you could join us right quick. You know, we were just talking with LL Nation about Cooper Kupp, and I don't know if many people know that you have a very, very, very good record with Cooper Kupp, going back to before he got to the NFL and like meeting him when he was up for the Heisman on the FCS level. Just share that story right quick.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because him and I were, got a chance to meet at the FCS Awards, right? And he was up for, he actually won my dad's award in 2015. And then he was up again against Jeremiah Briscoe. And Jeremiah Briscoe from Sam Houston State, he won it twice, so he was up against him. And like Jeremiah had some crazy numbers. And so when I got a chance to meet him in Frisco, I mean, I looked at him and I watched his tape. And I was like, dang, man, like this kid can ball. But, when you're not at a Notre Dame or Miami, sometimes you get glossed over. Sometimes people don't see what you actually are doing. But it's not even that, though. It comes down to his heart. And so I remember sitting and talking to him and his dad and his family, and I was like, bro, just keep working hard. Like, don't give up. Keep working hard and, like, see where it takes you. And you could just tell he was different. He was just made different. Like, his whole vibe was different. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get to the NFL. I can't wait to get to the NFL. He was like, yo, when I get to the NFL, I'm kicking the door in, And so I think that's what makes him special. And honest, I've told you this. I really didn't think that, maybe he was going to be one of those guys from the FCS level that just, kind of had dreams of doing it and getting there and not making it happen. But I could tell in his heart, I was like, dude, this kid, he's got something different, man. He's got a different vibe. And so, in my heart, I was like, he can make it, but he might not make it because he might not do it. But bro, last night listening to him speak at Honors, he's got his head on right, man. He's guided by God, his faith, and his passion. And what he said last night is what you should hear out of every football player's mouth every single time. Yeah. He thanked the dudes in the room. He thanked the dudes in the room for making him better because he has to get better. He's got to grind harder because y'all make me have to grind more. I appreciate y'all. And I was like, man, oh, man, let's just not talk about his ability to run routes.
Right.
I was talking with Chris Carter 2 nights ago when I was interviewing him and Jerome Bettis at this nationwide event. And he was just raving about his ability
off the line and how he disguises coverage. And off the line, how he designs all of his, he sees coverage, he understands, he comes off the line, but he can disguise it in a way on his takeoff to be able to get what he wants and
So
understand the leverage.
he's disguising where he's going based upon his release.
Yeah, but like on his release, dude,
That's
and like
crazy.
he won't give it to you. He's not telling people, like people are asking how he does it, and he's just not giving up his secrets, man. He wants everything to look the same off the line. Every release, he wants it to look the same, bro. Like attention to detail. Cats ain't doing that.
Yeah.
They just want. Dude, look, Charles Davis, man. Charles Davis right behind me. He on the
What up, CD?
Yeah, he on the phone call right now. But listen.
So
bro,
what was it? Just yo,
go ahead.
I've been with you. I've been with you, and I've helped you discuss like breaking down all of the previous list of honorees and nominations for the Man of the Year award. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, man. Witt is one of the most impressive that I've ever seen.
He's unbelievable, man. His heart is through the roof. He's doing it because it's his passion, and to see last night, so other people can see. We saw it about how his love and passion for the game is there, but his passion for giving back and service is there as well. Yeah. Dude, I'm glad everybody got a chance to see what Witt's doing, and it's just a blessing, man, that our family gets to do this every single year, like to show what these men are doing outside of football. Shaun is just, it's a blessing, man. Like, I can't tell you. My dad, I got chills every time that I think about it, because my dad he'd be just tickled right now because he's like, yo, they talking about me. Like, the NFL's highest honor has his name on it. Yeah. And it just speaks volumes to what he did as a person and also what he did as a player, because it's not just about what you do on the field, it's what you do off the field as well. So a lot of other well-deserving guys. I wish we could give one out to every single guy. We can't. But Witt he's very deserving, fam.
Bro, do you realize, has it hit you, your mom and your sister, that literally your dad's award is the equal to the film of the year in the Oscars? It's the last award.
It's the last award, man. Like, dude, I can't tell you, man. Like, this is the life.
So what was the moment?
CD. We'll talk, man. I'm on too. You look good. You look good.
So before I let you go, your big moment last year was talking to Sierra and Russ backstage. Bro. What was your moment this year?
Yo, fam, the moment this year had to be talking to Jonathan Taylor, bro.
Okay. All right.
Talking to Jonathan Taylor.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Bro, he came up to Brittany and I, and he was in awe. And I was in awe of him. And he was just like, yo, he couldn't even like speak. He was like so taken back. He was like, your dad is one of the reasons why I started playing this game. And I was telling him, like, bro, you got the juice. Wow. And he looked at me, what are you talking about? So I go to my Twitter account and I found the video against the Patriots. And I'm asking him, I said, first we talk about it. I said, bro, you came through. You had two linebackers jump over the top and you came through. And he, same time I did, planted that left foot. He did it like I did. And we were opposite. And I said, how'd you get through? And I said, bam. Then you started taking off and you were looking at cats like, he was like, bro, you just got to go get it. I was like, you went and got it, man. I was like, yo, you killed me with the speed. I didn't know you had the speed like that. He was like, right. I had to put my giddy ups on. I was like, I saw you. Yeah. So that was the moment, man. Talking to other running backs like that right there was super special, dude. I love that dude. I would think the world of him. And I told him if my dad was around, he would be one of the running backs that he would talk about. Like, definitely. Yeah. And he just was like, I barely appreciate that. So Yeah, man. That's
You know,
it, fam.
I tell you all the time, I love you, bro, and I'm proud of you.
Hey, I love you too, man. I'm out here networking, bro. Wait till you see what wait till you see what I come back with, dog.
We're definitely sitting down when you get back. We'll definitely sit down when you get back.
Hey, price went up, fam. Price done went
price
up.
Went up?
Just you know. Yeah, dog. It's went up. Hey. Oh my gosh. Hey, I gotta go. I'm seeing too many people, dude. I gotta go. I love you, fam.
Love you, fam. So, man, that was the special guest I tried to get on with you guys. Man, unfortunately, I couldn't get enough time. More time, maybe we can have him back on next week, and he can give us a full hour because he loves to talk. Tons of stories. We both have tons of stories, man, about the NFL and just being in those circles. So, man, we like to spin it different. I just wanted to give you guys a taste of what it was like at the NFL Honors last night. And LA is just LA is just a tease because everybody's talking about how crazy it is out in LA this week and how everybody's out there. It's in Vegas next year, people. Like, LA is just a tease. Las Vegas next year, bananas. Bananas. Man. The Rico kid, a couple of kids out of Texas, a couple of wide receivers that just jumped up into the rankings. A couple from 24. But 23 wide receivers, Rodney Gallagher. That was the name I was missing. And that's one more. But jump over to Irish Breakdown. They'll be on soon. I might jump on for a little bit of the mailbag, but I know for sure that Brian and I have a special show coming up on Saturday. We'll be talking about some very specific topics. So tap in with us as always, brought to you by Onora Whisky. It's that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhisky.com. We appreciate you. Let's get us up to 2,000. We're almost there. Let's get up to 2,000 subscriptions. Subscribe, share, and like. Subscribe, share, and like. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. It's very important at Lucky Lefty Pod. Help us promote. Let everybody know. We're back co-hosting together, myself and Malik. He's putting in work. He's networking. You saw Jared Payton. He's out there networking. The great story I wanted you guys to hear about Cooper Kupp when he was presenting him with the FCS Heisman. I got a chance to meet him and the conversation he had. I hope that inspires everyone. Don't let anybody put you in the box. Don't let anyone, society, government, anything, for any reason, race, creed, color, economic background, you can do whatever you want in life. You can be successful. Just spin it different. Be your authentic you and rock out. We believe in you, LL Nation. That's why we love you. That's why we pray for you. And that's why we speak the abundance upon your life and the blessings upon your life from this day forth, man. That's what we want for you. We want the best for everyone that's a part of LL Nation. Absolutely. So, for my man Malik Zaire at Overtime Malik, I'm Shaun Davis at SD2 Mics. We love you. Keep pushing. Hit the like button. Get us up to 2,000 subscriptions. Let's roll. We'll continue to spin it different for you right here on the Lucky